It's that time of the season where it begins to get chilly outside. The sun sets sooner and the court is back. We've got all the latest news in both women and men's basketball. What will this season bring and what will be in store for Titan basketball? Let's find out on this special edition of Titan Sports Recap Inside the Basket. Hello, I am your host, Jasmine Arenas, and this is Titan Sports Recap Inside the Basket. Led by third-year head coach Dedrique Taylor, the Titans take the court more determined than ever as they look to make their way back to the charts this season. It's been a long time coming. Building a brand for the team has not been an easy task. After going 1-6 in conference last year, the Titans come back with a tighter, fresher young team. When Coach Dedrique Taylor first arrived to Cal State Fullerton, his mission for the team was to build a brand for Titan basketball.
People will see us around campus, or they see us out on the recruiting trail, or they see us in the airport. They know what Cal State Fullerton stands for, and to me that is, character, high character kids that are going to class and taking care of their academics first and foremost. And then I want to be a team that we just play hard. We play hard all the time and we get after it. And if we just stop there, I think we've accomplished two really monumental things in terms of establishing our own brand and our own identity amongst the students here on campus as well as the community. And then eventually we'd like to go worldwide.
2 seasons later, not much has changed. Our very own Janice Garcia caught up with the Titan head coach to find out about the offseason and what expectations to look forward to this season.
We all are suffering from some frustrations because the game's just not flowing the way we would like it to. I think we've got to learn to concentrate on things that we can control, which is playing together and playing hard. And I think chemistry is something that's just going to have to come over the course of time. The hard part for us is practicing. We don't get to practice with all of our guys on the floor because we got guys banged out with turf toe and hamstring pulls and back issues, and so we practice almost a makeshift way, and so it's hard to establish chemistry on the floor when you don't get a chance to work together in practice. And so hopefully that's something that we can answer the bell to from our training staff, and then our players can respond to treatment and different things as the year moves along. It gives us an opportunity to get on the floor and practice together.
I want to give you guys a little scenario. If you are Coach Dedrique Taylor, who is going to be in your starting lineup? Josh.
I got Lanero Johnson, Trey Coggins, Malcolm Brooks. I got Jamar Aiko, and I got Kennedy Asume. I think that's the strongest starting five he can put on the court right now.
And Josh's starting five is the starting five that he has been using for the past 2 games. I also understand, but as you go through the season, there's 2 things that we can't know. There's obviously going to be injuries, and there's obviously going to be guys who are playing better or guys that just get better over the year. So he's going to change it up. But right now, I think he should continue to stick with his starting lineup because there's no reason to switch it up. It has been productive.
It has been very productive, and he's got that 3-guard rotation with him with Coggins, Johnson, and Brooks at there. So, you already got Asume, cleaning up the glass. But obviously with that lineup, they'll play a little bit small ball. It's been working out in both college and, professional. So I think this lineup's already good enough. It's working so far. So
Coach Taylor is here to try to win games. So he's going to put out the lineup he thinks will be able to do that. Although he is playing so many players, I don't think that putting that much emphasis on the starting lineup because everybody's playing. Lionheart Leslie played the second most minutes and he came off the bench last night. So I think that he's going to switch it up. It's going to be more important to see who finishes games. And I think what he might do is just ride whoever has good games or whoever the hot hand is and then fill around them for his final lineup of the day.
He has been using the same lineup, though, so maybe he's sticking through that.
You know what's interesting, though? He does have only 12 players on the team now. So he can definitely use all of them and rotate them consistently all the time.
Finding that we have a group of guys on the bench that they're buying into the concepts and they're coming in and they're moving the basketball around and they're sharing it and they're trying to play hard and they're trying to figure themselves out. And so as much as I want to shrink our roster to 8, they're making it tough on me, which is a good problem to have.
Josh, you being a former guard on the team, what do you think about our new guards, such as Trey Coggins and Lanero Johnson and Malcolm Brooks?
I think Lanero Johnson, Trey Coggins, and Malcolm Brooks are the forefront of the team. I think those 3 will be the leaders. I think those 3 will be the team that carry the scoring load for much of the games this season. And I think those are a good 3 to have on your team for sure to lean on for points.
Being on the team, you were a guard yourself. What are some difficulties that you faced playing other teams and stuff?
Difficulties I face being a guard.
Yeah.
I love being a guard.
The challenges, basically.
The challenges is staying consistent, staying on top of your game at all times because you know you're relied upon to do more than just score, more than do defense. That's why basketball is a great game because you gotta provide in all areas of the game.
Losing 4 major players, Moses Morgan, yourself, Josh Gentry, Alex Harris, and Stephen McClellan, what can you say about the team now? You know, we don't have those 4 key players anymore.
I think it just gives opportunity to those who haven't been in the limelight, and it gives opportunity to the younger players to show what they can do, improve, and show something for Coach Taylor, and, you know, really create their own legacy for their own future.
You touched on a key word, create their own legacy. Do you think the Titans have potential to create a legacy this season with the players that they have now and the way they've been playing?
I mean, if we look at last season, we went 9-22 overall. We only won 1 game in conference. So obviously, there's pretty much nowhere to go but up. I thought, against Pacific, we showed things that I find could be useful. We're shooting a lot more threes this season. We're making more threes. I remember when I talked to Coach Taylor after the Bethesda scrimmage, he said that could be something more in their game. Trey even said, I'm a shooter, that's what I'm going to do, I'm going to shoot.
Yeah, I'm a shooter, so I'm going to look for shots outside and inside the three-point line.
He definitely has been hitting his outside shot. If we keep hitting threes like this, we could shoot and maybe beat teams that maybe are going to overlook us.
Well, speaking of Trey Coggins, I had the chance to sit down with the junior guard to talk about his experience in the Air Force and his expectations for this season. Trey, you know, you came from the Air Force Academy to Cal State Fullerton. What made you do this drastic decision?
My love for the game. If I had stayed at Air Force, I would have had to serve 5 years after I graduated, and I decided I wanted to continue playing basketball. So it was a tough decision, but it was where my heart was.
How is it tough?
Because there's so many great opportunities and that come out of being from Air Force and graduating from there, and so many great relationships that I had, and giving all that up and not being able to finish with my classmates, that was tough. But you know, I feel like it was the right decision.
NBC, ESPN, CBS, we're all talking about Trey Coggins leaving the Air Force Academy to go to Cal State Fullerton. It wasn't because of basketball decisions, but it was because of the military.
I've been playing basketball since I was a kid, and I really feel like I have an opportunity to play after college, and I wasn't willing to give that up.
How are you feeling with your new team?
I feel pretty good. We have a great team, a lot of talent. We're still trying to figure out some things, but I feel like we're a tight-knit group and we can do well together.
Redshirting last season, and so being able to sit down and look at the team and how they vibe and stuff, what were some of the things that you took out of that?
Well, we had a lot of tough lessons last year, but really just sticking together through the hard times. We just beat Pacific, and that was a tough win, and what got us there was the fact that we didn't fall apart when things got tough. And I feel like with this group, we can really be great if we stick together, and I think we will do that. So.
You can be great if you stick together.
Yeah, if we stick together.
What are some of your expectations for the season?
Of course, I mean, you always want to win the conference, make it to the NCAA tournament, and those are our goals. So we'll see if we can get there. I just want to have a great time, honestly. Winning is of course ideal, and if we win, then we'll get everything that we need. So sticking together and being a great team is my goal.
What are some words that Coach says to you guys before stepping out on the court?
Well, he loves to say that everybody has to carry their own bucket of water. And so, at me, that really just everybody has a part to play, and if everybody plays their part, then we'll be just fine.
And now for a fun fact. What is Trey Coggins' favorite type of food? Is it A, steak, B, tofu orange chicken, or C, banana pancakes?
Favorite type of food? That's actually tough. My favorite food is my grandma's banana pancakes. I've loved those since I was a little kid.
Welcome back, Titans. Well, the men's basketball team looks to play tough teams throughout the season. Let's take a look at the non-conference schedule. Back on the road Friday, December 4th to take on Seattle at 7 p.m. Then play Washington December 6th at 6 p.m. They face Loyola Marymount again for a rematch on December 12th at 6 p.m. Then they face the Beavers of Oregon State at Moda Center and Portland December 18th through the 19th, and go back to Portland for a matchup on the 29th. What are some of the games that stick out to you guys?
I think the two games that I'm looking forward to most are the rematch with Loyola Marymount at home. Hopefully we can get them back for what they did. But the other game is
What did they do?
for beating us, of course. UC Davis just went and beat them. We have to show that we can beat this team. We have to show that. But I think the game that we can show the most is when we face Washington on the 6th of December. Washington just beat Texas. They're a good team. It's Pac-12. It's going to be on the Pac-12 network. So people are going to be able to watch the Titans all across the country. If we can have a good outing there, we can show teams we're really here to play.
Definitely, I agree. If we can beat Washington on the network, I mean, that's a big deal for us.
I mean, they already got a nice little test. They're going to be on the road for the next 5 games, 3 out of 5. So we're going to see how, if they can develop some of that chemistry.
They can play on the road.
Yeah, but just develop that chemistry because, on the road, teams, do stay together more when they're on the road. So,
Josh, but how difficult is it to play on the road? Because I know on the road last season wasn't what we expected.
Yeah, a lot of factors play a role in playing on the road. You got fatigue. You got players playing out of their element because it's on the road. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of things play a part in that. You got the atmosphere of the games, and you just got to unknown stuff who you're playing. And with these freshmen and all these new players coming in, it'll be interesting to see how they respond to games on the road this season.
What's it like when they go into a tournament setting on the road where you play a game, then you play the next day, and then you might even play the next day? How do you get yourself prepared for that?
It's even more difficult because the time span between games is one day or sometimes no days. So that day of, you have to prepare for that game, and you only can focus on what's in front of you at that moment in time. So, yeah, the preparation for each game without looking ahead and looking forward and staying focused on what you have in front of your plate is hard at times.
and here's something that not a lot of people talk about. I mean, they're still student athletes, so finals are coming up. So, how does that work? How do you, deal with being a student? Yeah.
Do you ask people for their study?
I mean, you got to know what you're signing up for. I mean, no one's gonna have any sympathy
Keep
for
studying,
you.
right?
We're all in the same boat. So you got to get your studies in. You got to be on top of your game and be willing to prove what you can do on the court as well.
Any last thoughts, guys, before we move on to women's basketball?
Go Titans.
Alongside the men, the Titan women's basketball team is ready for another season. Third-year head coach Daron Park led the Titans with an overall record of 13-19 and a 5-11 record in the Big West Conference. In the 2014-15 season, the Titans reached their program's 4th Big West Conference tournament semifinal in the last 9 years. The leader of the team was no other than Big West Conference first-team selection, Shantae Miles. The women's basketball team had a season full of breaking records such as fewest points allowed in a half, most three-point field goals made in a game, most three-point field goals made in a season, and most three-point field goals attempted in a season. The loss of Shantae Miles, Kathleen Iwuha, and Taylor Butler, the Titans lose 66% of their scoring. However, the Titans have a fresh new roster, including Michelle Berry, Danny Craig, Jade Vega, Lauren Nubla, and Madison Crawford. In the Titans' first home game of the season, Berry stunned the crowd with a phenomenal performance, 38 points against Portland State.
We've got a really young team, and we're going to work really, really hard to try to get them to understand just how hard it is to win a Division I basketball game.
All right, guys, we are back with women's basketball with our 3 amazing analysts, Christian, Kyle, and Josh. All right, guys, women's basketball. Let's put it on the table. The trio right now, Michelle Berry is one of them. What is key in her game?
I think she's a unique talent. She has the size. How tall is she?
6'2".
Above 6 foot.
Yeah.
6'2".
No,
I
I thought
mean,
she-
that is amazing talent as a female athlete right there. And she has the skills as a guard. So I think it's a mismatch for any other female in the other opposition to try to keep her from scoring a basket.
Ever since she started, double digits in all her games.
Well, I mean, not just she's averaging 31 points per game. Obviously, it's inflated from her 38-point performance in that first game. But what really surprises me about her and some of the other players is she's played 40 minutes a night for almost every game, which is insane. I don't know how you can keep that up. I mean, if she can, that's awesome. But they have to use the bench somehow. But she's playing so well right now, they could just ride her for these next couple games.
And not to mention, I mean, we've talked about offense, but what about defensively? I mean, she's pretty long. And when I first saw her play that preseason game, I honestly couldn't tell whether she was a guard or a forward because her length, she can bother some of the forwards in the front line. But also, she's got the quickness to guard any guard. So, I mean, she can be an excellent two-way player.
Definitely. She had 24 points last night against Loyola Marymount, which easily contributed to their win. But let's talk about Jade Vega. She had the game-winning shot at the buzzer. What can you guys say about her?
Exciting player. I think these 3 players are going to bring a lot more excitement into the women's program that maybe these fans haven't seen in a long time. I mean, it's hard for them to replace someone like Shantae Miles, but they're doing a good job right now. Those 3 players are going to be exciting and fun to watch for a very long time.
They're going to get into some tougher games. Obviously, when they go into conference, they don't see us as high. People around the conference think that our second straight trip to the semifinals of the tournament was kind of just a fluke. They're still looking at the other teams like UC Davis, who has Brad Daugherty's daughter on it, former Cleveland Cavalier player. But I think that with Barry on the team, if she can keep this hot streak up, and it might not just be a hot streak, it might just be how good she actually is.
Absolutely.
She is, but the rest of the team around her, we're only playing 7 people right now. It's a little bit scary. I kind of would hope the bench is a little bit deeper.
Right.
But if we're playing just our best players and they can all stay healthy and continue playing, we have maybe the best front 7 in all of the Big West. So we're going to surprise some people.
We talked about Michelle Berry and Jade Vega, but who's the third player on the table?
Danny Craig.
Danny
Yeah,
Craig.
Danny.
And
she's
her-
a sharpshooter.
The 3-point shooting from her
Yeah.
has been.
She's been lights
she
out.
might have Trey Coggins run for his money because she's
Absolutely.
hitting straight trays. And I'm excited to see, especially if teams are always going to watch us. They're going to know, okay, Barry's right now the best player on the team. That's
It's
who
the
they're
player
going
you should
to.
be scared of
But
when
if,
you're
they,
going
if
up
they're
against
looking
them.
at Barry, they're going to hit threes and they're going to have to stretch out. It's going to open the floor. If they can continue this offensive stretch, I don't know how teams are going to be able to stop them because they can hit it from outside, they can get it from inside. We're getting everything right now.
I also love how aggressive she's been playing the last couple games. She took up 11 3-point shots, but she made 6 of them. So she knows she's good, and
Yeah,
she's
no
going to be
fear.
aggressive.
No fear. These freshmen have no fear. They're out there stepping out, showing what they got from the jump. I like it. The West needs to look out for this big 3 because I think they can only go up from here. They're only freshmen, and I think they have a lot to learn with the great performances they've already put on display already.
Definitely, and they'll grow.
Yeah, and they're going to need to, obviously Barry can't be having this many points ever. She's going to have an off game. Everyone's going to have an off game, and these freshmen need to understand that it's okay to have an off game, bounce back, and come back. But the game I'm looking
Definitely.
forward to most is when we face San Diego State at San Diego State. I think if we can show them what our 3 freshmen can do, and everybody else around them, because don't forget, Samantha Logan is a great shooter, and she hasn't been shooting it very well at all either.
You know,
if she can start hitting her shots, we could be a really dynamic offensive team.
Absolutely. She's still young again. It's only her second season. I think she still has a lot of room to grow. But again, she's a great talent. Once she gets on her roll and starts hitting her threes and starts contributing as far as points and stay out of foul trouble, which she needs to do, I think it'll just add to the team as well and make them a stronger and more feared opponent.
The mental part of the game, learning angles and all that stuff, that's going to come with time. She's going to know when to rotate, when to help, that kind of thing.
Janice Garcia got the chance to catch up with alumni Alicia Crisp with our first TSR versus CSUF alumni basketball matchup. Did Janice win? Our executive producer could have some skills. Let's check it out.
Hello everybody, I'm Janice Garcia. This is our first one-on-one TSR versus alumni basketball game. I'm here with former Titan guard Alicia Crisp. How are you? Thank you for joining me.
No problem.
All right, just a few questions for you first before we get balling right now. You had Coach Foster and how was she with everything, with the teammates, with the whole school program, the basketball program?
Oh, she was great. She turned the program around. She made us strive to do better. Everything that a parent would want out of you for college, she demanded that excellence from us.
And how were your teammates on the team? Who did you bond with the most?
I think everyone, we had like a sisterhood. I would say the closest would be Simone Lutu, who's a post, and Megan Richardson. Those were the 2 closest people I became with.
And now off the court, what are you doing now in life?
I work at Sports Authority. I'm the price auditor there, and so that's what I do now since I graduated.
And last but not least, can you beat me at
Of
basketball?
course!
I think I'm gonna win right now, and so
Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard.
Work. Diamonds all in my ring, player. Gold watches, gold chain, player. 100,000 champagne, player. Yeah, my money insane, player. Yeah, I'm making it rain, player. But I was just on a plane, player. Buying gear, flying here. It ain't what you heard, it's my time of year. If I'm in the club, I get 100 stacks. I'm always so I get love for that. I heard he stole my swag, but I don't want it back. I was on this, but now I'm on to that. You see it in my closet for it's on the rack. Was out there in Hawaii, now I'm going back. I got so much money, I should start a bank. So much paper right in front of me, it's hard to think. Buy so many bottles, it's gonna be hard to drink. But I'm still growing up and my family here and they so the bigger the bill, the harder you ball. Well, I'm throwing mine, cause my money long. The quicker you're here, the faster you go. That's why where I come from, the only thing we know is the bigger the bill, the harder you ball. Well, I'm throwing mine,
Well, sadly, I didn't win the first one-on-one challenge, thanks to Alicia Chris. Well, from Titan Gym, I'm Janice Garcia, Titan Sports Recap.
No.
And thank you for watching Titan Sports Recaps Inside the Basket. I hope it was informative, and we look forward for the remainder of the Titan basketball season. I'm your host, Jasmine Arenas. You guys have a great night.